you know what? Here, I'm going to skip something here and go right to something that I just started talking about to myself because I'm insane. I walk around my apartment sometimes just saying things out loud because it's the closest thing I have to a human contact. But I'm really starting to think there's something going on with these sirens. Like, I really do. Like, I've been living this way for long enough, for years now. And of course, this year is even worse with all the stuff going around in this area. So the sirens have increased. But I've been here long enough to really start to notice patterns and to really, I don't tune it out. You can't tune out sirens. So a lot of people might explain away what I'm about to say with maybe you're only paying attention. Well, let me say what I'm going to say first so you're not confused. So I think I'm living in somewhat of a Truman Show type scenario here. Like, something weird is going on with these sirens. For example, just right now, I've been awake since 9 or 10. And I haven't really done anything in particular. It's a Sunday. I'm recording this almost a full week before I publish it. And I haven't really done it. I'm relaxing. I haven't really done much. I did go out for a moment to get a coffee and pick up a parcel. But it's been mostly quiet. But again, I haven't done anything. Nothing that requires focus, nothing that requires my attention. But then I just was in the mood. I was like, you know what? I kind of feel like recording my podcast. Usually I record them on Thursday nights, but it was in the mood to do it. And so I thought, why don't I just record the episode now since I'm in the mood? Because I might not be in the mood Thursday night. That's Christmas Eve. So I got my recording device, my iPhone, hit record, and within, 2 minutes of this podcast, this episode, you hear a siren. And then 30 seconds go by, you've already heard 2 sirens now. This show is only 4 minutes long currently. Right now, it's 4 minutes and 12 seconds long. We've heard 2 sirens. Why is it that the moment I need to do something that requires my attention or some kind of focus, the noise begins? And on top of that, my dumb neighbors go in and out of their apartment as if they can hear me recording. Like, the second I press record, they're going in and out of their house 50 times a second. The dumb handyman that lives outside starts doing work in the hallway. That stuff, I'm willing to admit, is just coincidence. But the sirens, very bizarre, very bizarre. And the reason I brought this up originally was I noticed a couple days ago that yesterday I was recording a audition. I was doing a self-tape audition. And it was just the worst. I only had a certain amount of time to do this audition. I had to do it in this time frame and then send it off. And the entire time, the second I set my camera up and start recording, this guy from across the street doing who knows what, he's a construction worker, decides to turn on this power vacuum, this water power vacuum, and he's all the way across the street. If I look out my window, he is small. Like, that's how far away he is. He's not that close. But this power washer is so loud, it sounds like it's in my apartment. And I can't do my audition because you can't do that with that noise in the background. For them, like for the casting directors watching, that you can't have them listen to that. So I have to keep pausing it and waiting for like any moment of silence and then quickly redo my audition. So my audition is going to suck because I have to like quickly squeeze it into the little bit of time that I have where there's no sound and then just hope that take happened to be a good one. And of course, it's actually a 2-minute long, it's one of the longest auditions I've ever done. It was pages and pages of dialogue. And so I'm messing up lines. And so I basically had to send the only take that I had that was half decent, where I remembered my lines and there was no sound. But this is the thing. That's a whole other story. This is the thing. The audition itself took me hours to do. It took me about 3 hours to finally get it. And that's actually not too long compared to other auditions that I've had to do. But at one point I paused my camera, I looked out the window, and I just watched this guy power wash the sidewalk. So he was just standing there. I don't know what he's doing. It's pouring rain out. So I don't know if rain plus a power washer equals greater success or if it's pointless. Like, I was sitting there going like, why don't you just let the rain do its job? I don't understand what this guy is doing, especially because he proceeded to do this for 3 hours, the entire time I was doing my audition. And he's just going back and forth through a very small part, just spraying the sidewalk. There's nothing there. I don't know what this thing is for. And then he would take the nozzle off and do like a different mode of washing, or I don't know what this thing is. And it's even louder. The attachment part is even louder. So it's going back and forth between a loud sound and an even louder sound. And he's just redoing the same like 6-foot radius for 3 hours. And I told myself literally out loud in my audition, if you watch the recording, I look in the camera and I say, $10. Well, let me say this first. So while this noise is going on, this is when it hits me. This is at about the 3rd hour mark. I'm like, you know what's weird is that this entire time, this entire 3 hours that this guy has been creating noise, not a single fire truck, not a single ambulance, not a single siren has gone past. And that's very weird. Like, you don't go 3 hours here without a siren. You can barely go 5 minutes. And I said, I bet you anything, the second this guy stops the power washer, sirens will return. And when I said that, I was like, if that happens, like I must be living in the Truman Show. And for whatever reason, my Truman Show is a TV show. People are watching someone slowly go insane. And their entire objective is to create 24 hours a day of noise between my idiot neighbors constantly running around in the hallways for no reason. Like, I'll look at my people, and my handyman set up his entire office in the hallway. Like, he just has tools laying around. He has a gigantic wheelbarrow, papers. Like, he might as well have a desk and a lamp. Like, it's ridiculous. I don't want to say anything to him because he's actually really nice, but like, he's taking business calls out there. He just stands out there and talking. Between that and then the constant sirens outside and this power washer, like, it's a 24-hour a day carnival. It's crazy. And then there's the Bluetooth speaker people, the crackheads outside my window. It is nonstop. Like, you would not even believe it. Even though I talk about this almost every week in my episodes, you still don't have any idea how insane it is. And it's half jokey, but it's also impressive about how annoying it is. But I'm living in this weird Truman Show where I think someone is trying to create the longest Guinness Book of Records sound, annoying sound, for as long as possible. Sure enough, I finish my audition just as the guy decides to stop doing the thing. So it's almost like he was waiting for me to like be done my audition for when he stopped doing his annoying power washer. And literally within 15 seconds, like, I actually was counting because I wanted to see if I was correct. 15 seconds goes by, ambulance, followed by fire truck, followed by another fire truck, all within seconds of each other, like right on cue. Like, I could have called it like the Truman Show. It was so crazy. And I've been noticing it more and more lately where there's just no break in between the things. And it's almost at the point now where I can call it, where I'm like, okay, I'm about to do something where I want silence. And sure enough, like, I'll be like, okay, I want to play Cyberpunk. Sirens. I want to focus on work and write. Sirens. But if I just sit on a couch and do nothing, there'll be some peace and quiet. It's so bizarre. And I think something's up. I don't know. But I'm also probably just crazy. But anyway, this kind of will segue into... Hey, thank you very much for listening to this clip from my audio blog. If you've enjoyed that and want access to the full episode, head over to patreon.com/CooperBebo. I'm an actor, writer, and producer of film, television, and video games. And as such, I like to talk about all of those things as well. I post new episodes every week where I talk about anything and everything that I feel like, as well as updates on my projects I'm working on. It's a lot of fun. Would love to see you over there. If you know of any games I should play or something I should watch, just head over there and let me know. Thanks again. Bye.